Hey guys, this is Wolfpad, and today I want to make a video on footstool combos, specifically applied to Wolf. The footstool combos in this game work a little bit different than in Smash 4 or in Brawl, specifically that you can now tech aerial footstools just as if you wanted to tumble. This limits the viability of footstool combos a little bit. However, in today's meta, not a lot of opponents expect to be footstooled in the middle of a combo, so the chances of them teching these footstools, at least in the beginning of the set or the first times you try it, is not going to be very high. I'm going to be going over some of the best moves to start with if you want to get footstool combos, as well as two different ways that I like to follow up with the footstools, and also I'm going to show some examples of what Wolf can do. For Wolf, the footstool combos are especially good because of something that is called a Nair jab lock that he has available to him. I will also go over that, and in combination with footstool combos, it makes Wolf combo game even more scary than it is right now, and the damage output is quite crazy. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing we have to know when talking about footstool combos is the difference between true footstools and phantom footstools. So basically, when you footstool an opponent, if they're in any sort of attack animation, be it a tilt or a smash attack or one of their specials or even an aerial attack while they're in the air, you cannot actually interrupt the animation. You will get the height of a footstool, you will get the sound effect of a footstool, but they will not be interrupted in any way. This is an important distinction because what we want is the footstool interruption animation so that we can follow it up with an attack. Be it on the ground or in the air, both animations are useful, especially if done low to the ground when we're talking about the aerial version, because it will put them into a tech situation. And this is where Wolf can really shine with the Nair locks that we talked about earlier. So which animations can you true footstool? So for the grounded version, any sort of landing lag from an aerial, a special attack that ends up on the ground, as well as any sort of landing lag incurred from falling high in the air is footstoolable, with the actual animation of them being footstool that allows us to follow up. For the air, as long as they're not doing any sort of attack, they can be footstooled, but for our purposes, we're looking for footstools out of hit stun. That way we can true confirm our footstool combos out of an initial attack, as we will see in the following clips. Alright, so before we get into the actual combos and the moves that you can use to start them, let's talk about the Nair lock technique that I talked about in the beginning of the video. I'm not going to touch upon what jab locks are. I will link a very good video from Beefy Smash Dudes on the description for you to check out if you don't know how jab locks work or how tech situations in general work. But assuming that you do, Wolf can actually use the late hit of his neutral air to lock opponents up to a certain percent. The percentage changes depending on weight, of course, but in general it can go anywhere from 40 to about 60%. The reason this works is because the late hit of Wolf's neutral air is only knockback growth knockback. It has no base knockback, meaning that at those earlier percents, it does not exceed the threshold where opponents will be knocked away from the move once they are in this tumble animation from missing a tech. That means that we can use up to 2 of those neutral airs, the late hit at least, to lock the opponents. Now, why is this so good? There's 2 main reasons for that. The first is that the late hit of Wolf's neutral air does close to 10 damage on a 1v1, as opposed to most jab 1s or jab 2s in the game that will do maybe 1.5 to 2%. So that means that just by locking the opponent with neutral air, you are doing 20 extra percent that they cannot avoid. And the second reason this is good is because the end lag of the neutral air once you land is much less than having to wait for the end lag of your jab 1 or your jab 2 to follow up. To put this into perspective, if you were to just jab lock with jab 1 or jab 1 and 2, you could only possibly get a smash attack. namely down smash or up smash for Wolf. Nothing else. If you try like something like a forward smash or an aerial, most probably you're not going to be there in time to do it. With the Nair locks, you just have the 9 frames of landing lag, which means that you can do pretty much whatever you want. Wolf gets a lot more out of doing aerial combos than just finishing with a smash attack, as you will see in the clips that I'm about to show you. So let's start with aerial footstool combos. The most common and most useful move in order to perform aerial footstool combos is probably going to be forward aerial. The reason for this is because it has low landing lag, has a lot of hit stun, and it puts them in the perfect position after the hit for you to be able to short hop or full hop and then get the footstool. You can also use landing up air if they are tall enough characters for you to be able to hit that, because it has a little bit less landing lag and also a lot of hit stun. Although landing up airs in neutral is significantly harder than forward airs, and it usually is a lot more punishable if you miss. Alright, so now you landed the forward air. To follow up with a footstool, all you have to do is buffer the initial dash as soon as you land and are in your landing lag animation, and once you're close to the opponent, you press jump and jump again when you're on top of them. It's important that you tap the jump button to get the footstool and you don't hold it, otherwise you'll get a really big footstool and you'll be way too high to follow up with any attack. Alright, so here's the tricky part. Once you get the footstool, your opponent will be sent tumbling to the ground and you will be sent high up. What you want to do is fast fall as soon as you possibly can and start your neutral air a couple of meters above the ground. This way, you ensure that you will get the soft part of the attack and able to lock the opponent into the jab lock instead of hitting them with the strong part of the attack, which will just send them away. Here are some examples that you can get with aerial footstools. For grounded footstools, Wolf has a very good follow-up in the form of up special. This is a very good move because it does quite a bit of damage and it can kill at relatively low percents. So how exactly does this work? When you footstool a grounded opponent, you are both stuck in 6 frames where neither of you can do anything. After those 6 frames, you can start inputting your attack, but your opponent will be stuck in 20 more frames of lag. This means that you can input any move that is 20 frames or quicker in order to punish that laggy animation. There are 2 main uses for grounded footstool punishes with Firewolf. One you may have already heard about is the parry into grounded footstool in Firewolf. This can be done after parrying any sort of aerial attack and when your opponent incurs landing lag from said aerial attack. Another usage that I recently discovered comes about in the form of a kill confirm, starting with soft neutral aerial into a footstool Firewolf. The way this works is you must hit a soft neutral aerial in a percent range where they will be sent into enough hit stun that the footstool Firewolf will true combo, but not enough hit stun that they go into tumble. If you do this just right, you can land the soft neutral aerial, then dash and quickly jump on your opponent's head while they're still in the landing animation of the hit stun. There are a few other usages for footstools in this game that are not exclusive to Wolf. These are mostly mix-ups and are not guaranteed by any means, but they can still be really good if you're looking to mix up your opponent. One of the usages that I show here is using the footstool to force a ledge grab from your opponent, which you can then trump and punish accordingly. Well, that's about it for this guide on footstool combos on Wolf. I hope that you enjoyed the guide and that it was helpful to you. I'm hoping to see a lot more of these footstool techniques and combos being used in the meta, and hopefully we'll continue to discover new ways to improve Wolf's advantage state and metagame in general. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.